Oh, hey, it's me. I didn't see you there. I was just admiring some of my beautiful artwork. So, we've just stepped in a time machine, and I'll get to a point in a moment, so stick with me. This from the Lucid Motors investor presentation from roughly mid-2021, in which Lucid attempted to trick people, let's just be honest here, with an IQ of probably 85 or less into buying Lucid stock because Lucid is an ex-Tesla. The entire presentation was full of turds in which Lucid had poured a few sprinkles, you know, sprinkles, right? See them on birthday cakes and donuts and things, and attempted to pass off a turd covered in sprinkles as a delicious cake. This was one such example of many. Comparing the Tesla Supercharger network versus Lucid's strategy with Electrify, I better not say that. The Tesla Supercharger network, first mover, perception of advantage, that's right. They're first, and that makes it look like it's a good thing, but it's really not. Let us explain why it's not really a good thing. Highly capital intensive, that's right. Tesla spent a lot of money building out the best and most comprehensive charging network. What idiots. 400 volt first generation system. That's right, Tesla's technology is not as good as ours because it's first generation system, see? Maximum 250 kilowatt hours with the latest V3 superchargers, and it's a unique closed source system. Well, it's now an open charging standard, and that has aged like a fine bottle of milk. Compare that to Lucid's strategy with Electrify My Arsehole. Second mover advantage. Apparently advantage is a reality. It's a capital light solution, so that's good for Lucid, right? We don't need to spend much money. We'll just use this shitty network. That's a great idea because it doesn't cost us much. Great. A 900 volt second generation system. That's right. 900 is more than 400, therefore it's better. A maximum of 350 kilowatts, which is more than 250. And we're using the open source CCS combo connector, which I illustrated. It's a beautiful turd. I'll tell you what, man, I should have signed that. Now, why am I explaining this? Well, you guys know where this is going, right? Surely. Surprise! This press release from Lucid today. Lucid to adopt the North American charging standard, bringing greater convenience to Lucid customers. That's right. They've even admitted in the title here, almost contradicting their investor presentation / stock pump / low IQ investor trap. Apparently, using Tesla's inferior network, which has lower numbers and less things and therefore second mover advantage and all this other crap, apparently it's going to be more convenient for Lucid customers to use Tesla's charging standard. What a surprise. Not only that, it's not just a plug, but also Lucid have negotiated access to 15,000 plus Tesla superchargers. And again, these aren't locations, they're actual chargers. There's a lot less locations, but the point remains, Lucid finally have jumped on board. Better late than never. How embarrassing. I tell you what, this would have been very difficult for Lucid's CEO and the rest of the folks at the company to agree to do. Coming to Tesla tail between their legs after they had an entire investor presentation explaining why Lucid had better charging technology and a better plug and more you get it, right? Then again, they never believed what they said in the first place. So, Lucid customers will be able to access a bunch of Tesla charging locations like practically every other customer of practically every other company now who've already made the agreements ahead of Lucid, who are 6, 7, 8, 9 months late to the party, something like that. Lucid to integrate Tesla's charging standard on their vehicles starting in 2025, the same charging standard that's got absolutely wrecked in their presentation. Awkward. Lucid vehicles built with the current charging system will also be able to access Tesla's supercharger network via an adapter in 2025. Let's continue to read here. Adopting NACS, as in Tesla's charging standard, is an important next step to providing our customers with expanded access to reliable and convenient charging solutions for their Lucid vehicles, said Peter Rawlinson, CEO and CTO at Lucid. Quote, we believe that a unified charging standard backed by the nationwide rollout of future-ready, higher voltage charging stations will be a critical step in empowering American consumers to adopt electric vehicles. Oh, speaking of Pete and charging and Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson sells $160 million worth of Lucid stock. Wait, sells $160 million. Oh, sorry, that was in the past. Sorry, I don't know why I brought that up. I'm sure it's nothing. It's not like you sold $160 million worth of Lucid stock before they've started making money and before they got through production hell. And oh, wait, no, that's exactly what happened. Oh, don't worry, it's not a red flag. Hey, Lucid's the next Tesla. Morons. Yeah, this is I don't even know why I said that. It's just, obviously, you know, when the man's got to eat, haters going to hate. All right, not a red flag. And Lucid didn't pump the stock and lure in dopey retail investors. So anyway, I probably should edit that out because it's got nothing to do with today's video at all. What I really wanted was this conveniently reposted by Ray for Tesla. 4 months ago, Lucid CEO thought the difference between CCS, what they were using, their chargers, and NACS was just the plastic plug. What has changed his mind? So let's see what Pete had to say. Politician Pete, I might add. He's got a little bit of that Mary B.S. Barra DNA.
NACS versus the CCS standard, because really what is the difference between those two? We're talking about a plastic plug here. That's the difference. It's a plastic plug with bits of copper in it. What actually supports that plastic plug in terms of the infrastructure and what it's connected to is very relevant to the US consumer and a very important topic for the growth of the EV in terms of its value to the American people. I think it's very important that when we look at US taxpayers' money here and how it is put to best effect, that it should be placed into a charging infrastructure which is future-proofed.
So just to be clear, Pete here explaining, trying to justify why the government should be incentivizing the build-out of the CCS charging network at the same time that Tesla's already got a dominant position, has the best charging network, and is already offering other companies access to their charging network. But Pete, of course, at the time Lucid hadn't adopted Tesla's charging network, trying to explain why it makes sense for the government to piss away money on what will be an obsolete charging technology, trying to frame it as if it's not going to be obsolete and it's not already falling to Tesla's charging standard. I wonder if the addition of Corey Steuben, ex-Munro & Associates at Lucid, had anything to do with this decision. As in Lucid's decision today to adopt Tesla's charging standard. Because Pete doesn't seem to even be considering this idea back in this interview a few months ago.
And that means an ultra-high voltage charging standard, 1,000 volts. That is the future for EVs. And really, it doesn't really matter whether that plug, the way that high voltage enters the car, whether it's through an NACS or CCS a plug.
So if what Pete is saying is true, and it doesn't actually matter how that enters the vehicle, e.g. you could have the CCS plug or the NACS plug, why is it now that Lucid's going to be putting the NACS, as in Tesla's plug, in their vehicles starting 2025? Good question, Stephen. Wonder what the answer is. I don't know. Let's move on. Just a bit of context here from Sawyer Merritt. Hilarious, by the way. Tesla's North American Supercharger count, over 15,000. Lucid's all-time global deliveries, around 8,800. So Tesla's built more chargers, and I don't mean charging locations. I mean just these things, an actual charger that has dozens of chargers at most locations. They've built more chargers than Lucid has delivered vehicles globally. And we're talking about Tesla's North American chargers, not their global chargers. That's very embarrassing. But of course, there's nothing to see here, and I'm sure Lucid are going to be fine. And wait, why is this on my screen again? I'm going to have to fire my editor. What an idiot. And while we're on the topic of Tesla's competition, and I'm going to channel my inner grok here, hope you guys saw yesterday's video. If not, please go check it out and be a little bit more vulgar. While we're on the subject of Tesla's competition coming all over themselves as opposed to for Tesla, after Cruise apparently misled regulators and people investigating a crash abhorrent behavior, I said there's something nasty in the company's DNA that seems to be one of those unfixable problems. We've heard something even more disturbing, an admission from Cruise that their supposed robotaxis, which are essentially cheating because HD mapping, LiDAR, geofencing, it's not really autonomy, it's a glorified party trick. Even so, they actually regularly require human intervention. Sounds like a scalable solution, doesn't it? Now, let's read on because this is rather disturbing. Over on CNBS, Cruise confirms robotaxis rely on human assistance every 4 to 5 miles. Now, that wasn't 4 to 5 hours, that was 4 to 5 miles. Remember, you guys, you can watch videos of people, especially the same city that you'll see Cruise vehicles operating in San Francisco, of Tesla vehicles on FSD beta with less interventions per mile. Now, you might have seen a few people reporting and doing videos. Hey, look, I took a driverless ride in a Cruise in San Francisco. It was great. I wonder how many miles these folks were driven. If it exceeded, say, 4 or 5, there was probably a human intervention that they maybe didn't know about. Pretty awkward for an autonomous robotaxi service. I'm sure it's all a misunderstanding. Let's read on. GM-owned Cruise, you did it, Mary, you f***ed up again. Wait, what? Is responding to allegations that its cars are not really self-driving because they require frequent help from humans working as, quote, remote assistants to get through tricky drives. Now, in fairness, we did know that Cruise had remote assistance for when the vehicles got themselves into tricky situations, but I was personally under the impression that these, quote, tricky situations were a lot rarer than every 4 to 5 miles. Cruise tells CNBS it worked with roughly 1 remote assistant agent per every 15 to 20 driverless vehicles in its fleet before grounding operations last month. So think about that for a moment. Look at a bunch of people there just sitting waiting. I would have thought that there'd be 1 per few hundred vehicles, but no. It's roughly 1 every dozen or so, making sure they're ready to overtake when it stuffs up. This is not good. Quote, human advisors generally provide, quote, wayfinding intel to the robotaxis and do not drive them remotely, a company spokesperson said. That's right. The cars are so fucking dumb, literally brain dead, by the way, and I've said this in the past. They need to be told how to get to where they're meant to go because it's so hard. Because something's different. My map says here, but I'm like, what do I do, Daddy? Please, Daddy, I'm scared. Help. And Daddy says, it's all right. You just go here and turn here, and it's pretty simple. Just do this. There. You're okay. You got this. Cruise CEO and founder posted comments on Hacker News on Sunday responding to allegations that his company's robotaxis aren't really self-driving, but instead require frequent help from humans working in a remote operations center. He first confirmed that the General Motors owned company does have remote assistance teams. We knew this. In response to a discussion under the header, GM's Cruise allegedly to rely on human operators to achieve, quote, autonomous driving. The CEO wrote, Cruise AVs, autonomous vehicles, are being remotely assisted, RA, 2 to 4% of the time on average, in complex urban environments. This is low enough already that there isn't a huge cost benefit to optimizing much further. What an Oh, the copium, bro. Now, to be clear, this is a business model that Cruise's own CEO sounds happy with. Yeah, we need a bunch of people ready to intervene every 4 to 5 miles. But we're okay with that. We don't really want to improve much more, aka we can't. It's not getting any better. We don't have enough data. But hey, this is good enough. Sounds scalable, right? I'm sure Tesla's not a threat. This is low enough already that there isn't a huge cost benefit to optimizing much further, especially given how useful it is to have humans review things in certain situations. So Cruise basically admitting here, yep, we're never actually going to solve autonomy. We don't want to solve autonomy. We don't care about solving autonomy. We're fine with vehicles that can drive most of the time, but actually need human supervision to make sure they don't screw up. Mainly to be told how to get from point A to point B, which is their damn job, as in the vehicles, not the people. It's actually both their jobs. How awkward. CNBS confirmed with Cruise spokesperson Tiffany Testo, she sounds yoked, is it just me? That the comments were accurate and came from the company's CEO. Cruise recently took the drastic move of grounding all of its driverless operations, following a collision that injured a pedestrian in San Francisco on October 2nd. The collision and Cruise's disclosures around it led to state regulators stripping the company of its permit to operate driverless vehicles in California unless there is a driver aboard. For those who missed this, there was an incident, allegedly, Cruise vehicle collided with a pedestrian, which wasn't the vehicle's fault. There was another collision from a human driver that sent the pedestrian flying under the Cruise vehicle. However, this is where things get bad. The Cruise vehicle slammed on its brakes, and then with a person under the vehicle, and when it should have done nothing at all, then executed a pullover maneuver and drove up to like 6 or so miles an hour with a person under the vehicle, causing potentially much further and more serious injury. And Cruise conveniently forgot to share that part of the video after the incident and wanted to pretend that the car had come to a complete stop and that was the end of it. Abhorrent behaviour. Disgusting, nasty, rotten company culture. That's just not cool. The DMV previously said its decision was based on several factors, citing 4 regulations that allow suspension in the event, quote, the department determines the manufacturer's vehicles are not safe for the public's operation and, quote, the manufacturer has misrepresented any information related to the safety of the autonomous technology of its vehicles. Yeah. So, in short, the regulator's saying these aren't safe and the company's been lying. The pricks. As NBC News previously reported, California Department of Motor Vehicles accused Cruise of failing to show them all of the full video depicting the October 2 collision. We've covered this, so let's skip ahead a bit. How often do remote workers intervene? Diving into issues within Cruise that may have led to the safety issues and setback for Cruise's reputation and business. The story included a stat that at Cruise, workers intervened to help the company's cars every 2.5 to 5 miles. The CEO explained on Hacker News that the stat was a reference to how frequently Cruise robotaxis initiate a remote assistance session, aka cry for daddy to come help because they don't know what to do, because something's changed. He wrote, of those, many are resolved by the AV itself before the human even looks at things, since we often have the AV initiate proactively and before it is certain it will need help. Many sessions are quick confirmation requests. Is it okay to proceed, Daddy? I'm scared. Is it okay? Or do you need to help me, Daddy? What do I do? Should I go or should I wait for you, Daddy? That are resolved in seconds. There are some that take longer and involve guiding the AV through tricky situations. Again, in aggregate, this is 2 to 4% of the time in driverless mode. CNBS asked Cruise to confirm and provide further details on Monday. The Cruise spokesperson wrote in an email that the remote assistance sessions are triggered roughly every 4 to 5 miles, not every 2.5 miles, in Cruise's driverless fleet. Quote, oftentimes the autonomous vehicle proactively initiates these before it is certain it will need help, such as when the autonomous vehicle's intended path is obstructed, e.g. construction blockages or detours, once again, because they're brain dead. Oh, something's changed, I don't know what to do, I need to call for help, but not do anything, I'm just going to stop and wait for help and block traffic and block emergency vehicles and cause people to die and get pissed off the local residents. I'm just kidding, that never happens, right? Huh? Or if it needs help in identifying an object, because again, it's brain dead. She wrote, quote, remote assistance is in session about 2 to 4% of the time the autonomous vehicle is on the road, which is minimal. And in those cases, the remote assistance advisor is providing wayfinding intel to the autonomous vehicle, not controlling it remotely. That's right. Daddy doesn't actually take over the steering wheel most of the time. Daddy just says, you need to go around that object, you fucking moron. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I think you guys get the point here. Seems that Cruise, well, their supposed autonomous vehicles are anything but. Company has a rotten culture. But don't worry, they're definitely ahead of Tesla in terms of autonomy, because I saw it on some leaderboard on the internet from some company that has people that know what they're talking about that aren't ex-legacy automotive companies. And so, yeah, you can trust them and not me, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Just finally, GM said last month that the company had lost roughly $1.9 billion on Cruise in the first 9 months of this year, including $732 million in the third quarter alone. Now, contrast this with Tesla, whose vehicles, instead of buying vehicles from someone and covering them in expensive sensors and then paying humans to monitor them, Tesla, no, they've got bigger brains than that. They make compelling vehicles, sell them to customers, make industry-leading profit margins on those vehicles, and then charge customers up to $15,000 for the privilege of training their AI to get better over time. These two things are not the same. So what a great day for Tesla's so-called competition. Lucid come crawling to Tesla, tail between the legs, adopting their charging standard, better late than never, after talking up their genius 400 IQ plan of using Electrify My Arsehole, and Cruise seemingly continue to dig their own grave. Now, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely It's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. You get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.